All right. First things first, the Endling, the beautiful Endling, October 22nd. Uh, the poetry album is now in the first round of the Grammys. So it's in the, I don't know if you follow any artists and they be posting these like for your consideration. So there's like a bunch of acts, artists, songs, whatever that get into that round. And then the next round is the one that gets to go to the show. But now what we need to do is get our work in front of people that can actually vote in this round, right? And part of that is like, having a good showing. And part of me trying to do that is this event at the Elysian Theater, October 22nd, where I was already excited about performing the album, but like now that there's a possibility that, dude, I might be able to go to the show, trying to do it. The last time I was in this round was for the Terraform audiobook, but I was going up against Barack Obama. So I was like, yeah, I'm not even going to try. But this time I'm trying. So October 22nd, Elysian Theater. Tickets are on my website. They're in the show notes. They're on all my socials, prophiphop.com, all the things. Just, yeah. Come see your boy, or at least buy a ticket. No, talking about, give it to somebody. Anyway, let's get to it. Hood politics with Prop.
Life is like staring at a Texas-sized meteorite streaking across the skies at night. Life is like a Bombay lunch in Pompeii, and the caps of the southern mountains exploded into a fountain.
Okay, I am going to argue that top 5, top 10 memes of all time. I'm gonna say dead or alive. I'm gonna say all time. It has to be, obviously the Real Housewives one where the white lady is yelling at the cat. That's obviously in the because it's just, I like a meme that has a lot of utility that you could use in multiple scenarios that still don't feel out of touch. This one for me is up there. And whoever that poor guy is, I feel so bad for you because you are the picture of the worst person you know. Tragic. Worst person you know made a great point. Whoever that receding hairline man is, I'm sorry to that man, but you are exactly what I picture. Every once in a while, broken clock and all that, you get a gut check. When the thing you've been advocating for actually happens, it just happens to come at the hands of the worst person you know. Y'all, the fire has ceased. This season finale of You Wasn't Outside, man, there are a lot of things to celebrate. However, because this is hood politics, we ain't gonna let y'all, you know what I'm saying? Like, we ain't gonna fall for the okie doke completely. There are some asterisks to that firing of ceasing. But at the end of the day, listen, respect due. The goal was for the bullets to stop flying. The goal was for families to be returned and for Gaza to be rebuilt. Now, those bullets not flying also has an asterisk. This is still an apartheid. But we're going to get into the specifics. And we're going to give credit where credit's due. All right, y'all ready? Tragic. Hood politics, y'all. All right, so Trump brokered a ceasefire that as of today, as of Monday, 2 days from before this show dropped, it's holding. Families have been reunited. The 20 living hostages from that Hamas took on October 7th have been returned. There's a lot of joy, there's a lot of celebration. And if you were Israel at the end of the day, that's all you've been asking, as in the people of Israel. All they've been asking, if you which is part of, like, again, the asterisk that I'm putting on this, like, worst person you know type beat, because the will of the Israeli people was really waning. Like there were a lot of factors that went into this actually happening. It's not just Trump, but I'm gonna give him his propers. But the will of the people was done. So they was like, my nigga, it's been 2 years. I don't all this other shit you talking are the big homies that put you on. The extreme right wing, the hardliners that want to erase Gaza. Those are your big homies. We don't care about none of that. It was being Stephen A. Smith. That's it. Let me tell you this. We don't really care. Hey, like, I just want my baby home. And for the people of Israel who were, burning their draft papers, who were continuing to protest, being like a hardline Jewish, like Orthodox cats that was like, yo, what are you doing? You are wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like, they was pushing that old boy, and the talks was talked. Families were reunited. This is beautiful. The other side of that coin was Palestinian people wanting to see their loved ones too. Now, keep in mind, Israel since 2003 been jailing Palestinians on some like trumped up charges, pun intended. And that was part of Hamas's deal. Like, yo, like, y'all got hostages too. But see, the difference is you calling them detainees. I'm like, they were kidnapped. Why? How? Like, they was kidnapped just like y'all's folks was kidnapped. Anyway, there was a release of a couple thousand Palestinian hostages to the people of West Bank. However, in West Bank, they wasn't allowed to wave flags. We're going to get to that later because this is still an apartheid. But anyway, long short of it, the shooting has relatively stopped. But not for everybody, because again, you can't trust no Bibi Netanyahu. Anyway, so today I want to talk about the steps that got to that, how it's looking now, and if we was going to read the lick, what's going to happen later. All right, so let's get into it. Now, y'all remember the Abraham Accords? You shouldn't, because they was ridiculous. But basically, it was a deal that Jared Kushner worked out. Y'all remember when Trump got in charge for the first time, and he said he gonna send Jared Kushner to end the Israel-Palestinian situations. This was before this. This was Trump 1.0. So this was before this current administration and this current situationship happened. That Jared was gonna go over there. Now, Jared's plan in the Abraham Accords was like, just pay him off. Like, it was that simple. He was like, just pay for it. Like, just give them money. If you give them money, they'll go away. He was just telling Israel just to give them money. It was like, it was absurd, right? But didn't stand, didn't work. There's a lot more that goes on with it. But anyway, Jared Kushner was the one that was in a lot of ways in charge of what was trying to be brokered. Obviously, Trump got out of office January 6th, all that. We had a Biden situation the last 4 years with that. We was really frustrated because we was like, Biden, you could end this shit right now. Right. This is a very fixable problem. You just have to tell Bibi Netanyahu, you not with this. I'm not supplying weapons. You gonna stop acting like this. But our long suffering, long lasting relationship with the nation of Israel and all that we benefit from it and all that they benefit from it would not allow, for some reason, apparently, a genocide that, I mean, I'm calling it genocide, I'm not just bringing this out of nowhere. The UN called it a genocide. Like, they finally said it out loud, right? So, this could have been stopped a while back, but maybe it couldn't have. Maybe Biden ain't had a juice. All I know is he wouldn't strong arm Bibi in the way that we was asking him to strong arm Bibi. It didn't happen. Apparently, starvations was not enough, right? And if you know somebody, which I'm sure you do, who got that Netanyahu juice on him, which is, I think, why him and Trump kind of get along so well, is they got that give an inch, take a mile type energy, right? If you show in any way a crack in your armor, they will exploit it. They will find a way to make sure that what they need is done. These are Bibi, like, that's an expert politician, because ain't no way, because the man should be just like Trump. He should be on trial right now, but that's a whole other episode that we talked about before with the Knesset. Anyway, fast forward to now, Trump is currently on his way. No, as of today, he's in Israel speaking to the Knesset, receiving just his like joyous, triumphant return, as the citizens of Israel are super thankful for the work that he's done. And look, results are results. But anyway, Abraham Accords didn't work. What Biden was trying to do didn't work. So what actually happened? Well, I'm going to say it started with this particular thing. New York Times, which, you can, they got a lot of issues, but they did a much more in-depth study of what I'm about to tell you. And so I did my clickings, my researchings to make sure that like niggas knew what you was talking about. But anyway, a lot of this has to do with like backroom blase blah whoop-de whoops. And your hood antennas is the part that I'm interested in to help you understand like why would these people make these moves? When you look at the actual deal, if you are a Palestinian, specifically Hamas, you probably got a lot of questions. Like, why the hell would I agree to this? Right? Because like I said last week, it's like, this isn't a compromise, it's a loss. What they're telling Hamas in a lot of ways is, nigga, you lost. Right? Now, let us not conflate Hamas with Palestine. They are two different entities. Hamas was not the first people that were somewhat in charge of the Palestinian areas, right? There was the PLO before that. Now, the PLO, that's a whole other story. There's a show called Throughline on NPR that did a whole breakdown on them. But the PLO, which came out of the Islamic Brotherhood, which, again, this is a whole lot of history that this episode ain't gonna get into. But, like, they are various levels of, extreme is the wrong word, but various levels of bout it. The PLO, them leaders that was the Oslo Accords, which, again, that was the 90s. That was the part that Bill Clinton was a part of. But, like, and this is actually as a side note, when I was in them church seats, we was taught, speaking of the rapture, that the sign of the Antichrist was that he was going to be able to solve, he was going to bring peace in the Middle East. So I'm just saying, if Trump brought the peace, according to your theology, my nigga, that mean he the Antichrist. Anyway, so I say that because they used to say that about Bill Clinton, because, he's a Democrat. So, like, if he was able to actually bring peace in the Middle East, that was the sign that Bill Clinton was the Antichrist. And then after that, Barack Obama was the Antichrist. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody trying to look for this man to be the Antichrist. I saw somebody on TikTok say that Charlie Kirk might have been. Anyway. Oh, Lord. So Oslo Accords, Abraham Accords. So right now, this was the deal, right? So Trump's there, you know, hostages are being brought home, and that's a good thing. So anyway, I think the best way to start with this is the bombing in Qatar. That was the last straw. That was when Trump was like, look, that's it, cuz, right? Now, why would Trump be so mad about that? Does this man really care about what's going on in Qatar? You know what Trump care about? He care about his used plane. He care about his runway, because Trump, in the hood sense that we all know that man is, it's all about loyalty. You take care of me, I take care of you. You ride for me, I ride for you. No questions asked. So when I do shady shit, stay with me. When you do shady shit, I'm going to stay with you as long as it benefits me, right? There's talks about a airport being made for the Qataris, maybe to land the Qatari jet he finna get. He's like, look, man, if they want to give me a plane, what am I gonna say? No, right? Makes sense to me, cuz. So when your homeboy is messing up your lick with another homeboy, you might got stuff to say. Now, this was all happening. This bombing happening happened while stuff was being negotiated. Who Israel was trying to hit were the Hamas negotiators that were in Qatar, literally negotiating with Israel's team. Now, don't you think that's crazy? Now, let's just let's just act like Trump is a human being, which he is. He's a human being who likes winning, which he is. He likes this back and forth. He likes this like challenge of like who gonna boss up and who gonna boss up over who. He like all that. So while we working backstage, you feel me? You got the people up front that is doing their part. They bringing information, bringing back. We working this shit out. My nigga, I'm talking to you right now. We trying to work a deal with them. You remember this shit ain't got nothing to do with me. I'm trying to help you. And you just gonna bomb the people. Nigga, what the hell he on? What the hell he Cyrus? How the hell you gonna bomb them? Qatar is your friend. Nigga, they your only friends. And you bombing the onlyest people that is willing to come to the table with what the my nigga. So that happens while Jared Kushner and his team are working on a deal to take to Qatar to present to the Hamas negotiators, right? They agree on a deal. Like, okay, this is what we're going to do. We agree on a deal. Like, okay, you release the prisoners you got. They release their prisoners. You got to let food in. You going to pull back, right? You're going to pull back from Hamas. You're going to pull back to at least half, right? Which I'm get to it later. That's why I was like, they white boy Gaza up super hard. So we're not going to leave Gaza. We just going to pull back so some people can go back to their homes. Side note, Gaza lost 58% of itself in this deal. That's why I was like, I can't believe Hamas would agree with this, but I can because niggas is dying. So anyway, so y'all pull back, right? You ain't going to leave, but we going to pull back. Hamas, y'all put down y'all weapons. Y'all release the thing. Y'all agree to a third party people that was like willing to make sure that the peace, and that third party happens to be Donald Trump and Tony Blair's head ass. Pulled that man out of retirement out here. It was just like, yo, why don't you help me make this money? Secure peace on this beachfront property. Anyway, so they come up with this deal, and literally the next day, Israel bombs Qatar. And if you like, you're just like, man, what are we doing, bro? Like at some point, you got to look at your homeboy and be like, my nigga, you are on your own. Granted, if you have half a heart, that was 20 years ago. But at this point, it's like, at least we found a thing, right? So they bombed the thing, and that ended up being somewhat of a green light, right? It was actually, again, if you just like winning, this was actually an opportunity, because you have to be able to read the chessboard. What was happening all this time was, remember, European countries are starting to recognize Palestine as its own nation. So Bibi Netanyahu is losing the PR war, right? Because it's in the same way with China and Taiwan. Don't you dare call them a country. You know what I'm saying? Like, my dog, you're, for somebody who claims to be the greatest military force with the most well-funded machine, you sure do accidentally bomb a lot of people. It seems as though every time we agree on something, you still just do the shit you was gonna do. It's kind of, this is indefensible, bruh. So it was reaching that level. You had a bunch of Arab nations kind of saying the same thing, right? You have to keep in mind, I think we've talked about this before, don't nobody like Israel. Nobody in their hood liked them. And it's not because they're anti-Semitic in the sense that they are Semitic people also. It's that, big dog, you just walked into somebody's house and claimed it your own. Jews, Muslims, Christians have been living for centuries in this region. Fine. It wasn't until you just made up a line and screamed mine. My dog. This is the third time you tried to erase the whole people. So we not with this. And the people who've been trying to like support the cause of the Palestinians, Turkey, Hungary, Egypt, right? They was all in good standing with Hamas, right? And at this point, they had to look at Hamas and be like, he not gonna stop, fam. Y'all, if you don't see what's happening right now, at some point you gotta have a homeboy that's like, hey, he whooping your ass. Like, it's time to put the remote down, or it's time to, like, I mean, I can't do nothing for you, boy. Like, he whooping your ass, right? She don't want to be saved. Don't save her, right? Oh, man. This is to treat you the way he should. Then let him go. You need a friend that'll sing that Keisha Cole to you. Where it's like, I'm with it, boy. I love you like a play cousin. You my dog for life. I know. But my nigga, he whooping your ass. You need to go and wave that white flag, homie. Here's your chance. You done gained a lot. You got European, you got the white people agreeing that you exist. I hate that we have to fight for that, but you got the white people agreeing that you got the right to live. You feel me? Niggas is starving. Like, just Iran ain't got no money. This might be it, man. And on top of that, everybody who's good with Hamas also, who don't want to be good with America? Everybody want to be good with America. And if you are, again, a part of the international community, you understand that, like, I mean, Trump ain't gonna be here forever. Like, this is y'all's first autocratic dictatorship. This is y'all first one. Like, shit don't last. We done been through this. You know what I'm saying? So, like, they like, let's make sure we still good with. We still want to be good with them. Them sweet tanks, them sweet bunker destroyers. Like, I still need them. I still need them things from. I still need to be able to trade with you. You know, this tariff Terry over here. You feel me? So we got to make sure we got to make sure we still good. You understand? So everybody's got their own personal like reasons on top of the humanitarian reasons that it's like, all right, my nigga, like this shit gotta stop. Right. So Egypt specifically, who's like, nigga, we share a border with Gaza. Like, I need this shit to end because like y'all gotta stop. What do we need to do? Okay, BB, nigga, what? Cause like what Hamas won't, nigga, we know that's not this. Everybody at the table know you just gonna blame Hamas, but my nigga, you know it's not. Like, you are the aggressor, okay? It is what it is, bro. This clearly ain't about the hostages. Everybody at the table know that. Because you could have done that a long time ago. Okay, what do you need to see? You know, so finally it was like, all right, so now Trump and Witkoff, they fly BB and his team to New York to negotiate. Like, Trump is like, I'm going to talk to this nigga directly, okay? Which is, again, this is the hats off part. Now, granted, obviously this ain't altruistic. Trump won a Nobel Peace Prize really bad. And as we know, he didn't get it, right? Although the lady from Venezuela, who is the actual president, but she in hiding because she actually defeated Maduro. Anyway, she got the Nobel Peace Prize and dedicated it to Trump because, look, again, tragic. Worst person you know did a good thing. Whether his reasoning was because he trying to buy Gaza, which seems like it just worked, or he just won his Peace Prize. Either way, the food's coming in. Anyway, so he flies BB into New York to be like, this gotta stop. But part of the deal, because Trump don't like looking like a chump, he kind of looked like a chump. It kind of looked like we was all saying this back home. It like, hey, who's running who? It looked like BB do what he want, and you ain't gonna do shit. It looked like BB just another Vladimir Putin, cuz like you know, you say you want this nigga ain't listening to you. He do what he want. So Trump not gonna let nobody make him look stupid. He do that all his own. Now he say the very next day, listen, I need you, looking like Jay Prince out here, I need you to call the Qataris and apologize to them. So the very next day, there's the press conference of Trump holding the phone, right? Y'all don't, I made a Jay Prince reference. Y'all may not remember this, but when Kanye did his Larry Hoover fundraiser out here in LA, the video looked like when your mama, it looked like it was Jay Prince standing behind there and Kanye apologizing and then saying he wants to do a fundraising festival for Larry Hoover. Larry Hoover is the person who started the Chicago Vice Lords. Jay Prince is a music like mogul, manager, producer from Texas. But the thing is, he is a certified gangster. And like, y'all thought Suge Knight was crazy. Like, Jay Prince, it is well known. Part of why Drake get away with so much is because he's part of Jay Prince kind of like helped put him on. So anyway, it really kind of looked like Jay Prince just being like, or your mama, after you done cut up in class and she make you write a letter to your teacher. And dear Miss Rodriguez, I am sorry for my behavior. It was rude and disrespectful. That's the way Trump had BB looking when he had to call the Qataris. Like, listen, I am so sorry. I should not have bombed you. So anyway, we get to a place now where there is quite possibly a deal. Now, you got the collective force of the Arab nations kind of in agreement now. You have the West led by Trump being like, my nigga, fix this shit now. And then you have European nations all saying, listen, we're going to start recognizing Palestine as a nation. At this point, BB had to read the board and be like, all right, here's what I'll agree with. So the deal was, like I said before, we will draw back to a said line. We're not going to leave. We will release the people that we have, right, that have been in jail for 20 years and such, as long as Hamas disarms, releases all the hostages, dead or alive, right, relinquishes control of being in charge of Gaza, and then installs a third-party peace organization, which is led by Donald Trump and Tony Blair. That part is so funny to me because it's ridiculous. So the next question would be like, if you're Hamas, I mean, what's in it for you? Because my first question, like, why would you give up your only leverage? Your only leverage is these hostages. So if you agree to that, it's donezo. Like the let me borrow your bike type energy. Either I let you borrow it or you just steal it. I mean, I'm going to lose my bike. There is no leverage, right? So is that the energy to where you're just like, I mean, there was weird, most of our leadership's dead, right? It's mass starvation. We lost, dog. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, is this it? And then the other question is like, yo, so y'all not gonna actually leave? You only going back like 58%. So that's like yet another chunk of Palestinian land gone. Every time they get into these tiffs, that's what happens. They just lose land. So I can see how if you Israel, you just like, oh, okay, we just didn't get it all this time. We'll get it next time. But you're just like, God damn, man. Like, damn, like even with the support of the world, you feel me? Like, shit, bro. Like, what do we, I guess, man. And then, yo, who gonna clean this shit up? God, dog, the city in rubble, fam. Like, who gonna clean this, man? Who gonna clean this up? I think we know the answer. Who gonna clean this up? Because you gonna clear it out. You gonna build your resorts, man. God, dog. But you know what? I guess at least we alive. Now, even with them stop shooting, I mean an hour after they agreed, there was still another bombing. The beloved like reporter who got to announce that the ceasefire has happened, he was shot today. Like, y'all still shooting, you're still like, it's still going down. But at least families were able to return. At least you're not in an active war zone, you know? And for that, look, if that was the goal, that's still the goal. And I'm glad for that. Now, there's also a win, like I said, that like the white people is willing to recognize you as a nation. That's kind of a win. But my last question would be that I'd love to talk to y'all about is like, could anybody else have done this? Could Biden have done this? I am of the opinion that there's this weird wraparound snake eating itself racism thing that's at work here, right? Let me tell you why. Because as far as the American left is concerned, as far as the American center left, whatever, Democrat, liberal. We was already done with this shit. And any of our sort of leverage we would have had against Benjamin Netanyahu has already been spent. He already know, listen, he already know he not, look. Do you know why a lot of times politicians don't just, they pick and choose where they gonna do their campaign rallies? Is because you know you ain't gonna win that. So I don't even try. I'm not even trying. Like, there's no reason to campaign over there if I know I'm not gonna win it. I ain't gonna win that. So it don't matter. Why would I waste my breath? I done already lost, y'all. You feel me? So if you're Benjamin Netanyahu, you don't give a fuck what Biden think. He already, like, you ain't gonna do shit. You are, like, well, I done already counted you out. Like, you not gonna not support us, and you not gonna support us. Like, I already know what I get with you. The Republican side, however, that's getting ate by the fascists. So the question was, which version of American elitism was going to win out? Is it the traditional Christian, you support Israel because the blessings of Israel is the blessings of God, that God said, I bless those who bless you and curse those who curse you. You supposed to support Israel. Or this other part that's eating the Republican Party, that is, I mean, Nazi. Like, that's just like, that's like anti-Semitic, anti-Jewish Nazi. Like, you're fascist. There was some meeting that happened with Laura Loomer and them about what we supposed to do with Antifa. And one of these dorks was talking about, you know, how dangerous Antifa is. He was like, Antifa's not new. Antifa's been around for 100 years. Like, goes all the way back to the Weimar Republic. To which anybody who understands history should have been like, wait, goes back to the Weimar Republic. Okay, so unpack that, sir. Who were the anti-fascists in the Weimar Republic of Germany? Who were you? You understand what you're saying, right? Which side of history are you on, my G? Like, he didn't even hear himself say it. You understand what I'm saying? But you in the White House, cuz. In the White House, you cheering for the Nazis. You following my logic here, bruh? There was Antifa all the way back to the Weimar Republic. You doggone right, cuz. Yes, there was. And yo, Paul and them was a part of it. That's why we went to war. It's the concept of World War II, sir, out of your mouth. That's the concept. I wish Trump was awake for him to go, wait, what? Yeah, that was us. Wait a minute. No. Can't stand these people. Anyway, so the far right Nazi sympathizing, them niggas is eating the Republicans. So now you got leverage if you Trump to be like, my boy, the natives is getting restless. I don't know if we gonna keep supporting you like this. We all you got, homeboy. So this weird racist wraparound, the fact that anti-Semitic sentiment is coming into the Republican Party, like it wasn't there before, but coming in there meant that now Trump got to, he's like, I don't know if they're going to keep supporting you, bro. Like, right now, you know, you've been able to accept this, like, unwavering. I don't know if a Democratic president would have had that sort of leverage. Like, just such a weird wraparound. Just a weird racist wraparound. But you know what? Look, if this mean that little Palestinian baby can get some doggone milk, listen, and praise the Lord God Almighty. God, our Lord, and their ancestors. Whatever I look here. Is the baby getting fed? then to God be the glory for the things he has done. Even though some reason he done used the worst human we know to make it happen. Hey, look, broken clock and all that, respect due. Let's just hope it sticks. This is still also an apartheid, though. That has not changed. Hood politics. All right, now don't you hit stop on this pod. You better listen to these credits. I need you to finish this thing so I can get the download numbers, okay? So don't stop it yet. But listen, this was recorded in East Los Boyle Heights by your boy Propaganda. Tap in with me at prophiphop.com. If you're into cold brew coffee, we got Terraform Cold Brew. You can go there.com and use promo code HOOD, get 20% off, get yourself some coffee. This was mixed, edited, and mastered by your boy Matt Osowski, killing the beat softly. Check out his website, mattosowski.com. I'm gonna spell it for you because I know. MATTOSOWSKI.com, mattosowski.com. He got more music and stuff like that on there, so go and check out the heat. Hood Politics is a member of Cool Zone Media, executive produced by Sophie Lichterman, part of the iHeartMedia Podcast Network. Your theme music and scoring is also by the one and only Matt Osowski, still killing the beat softly. So listen, don't let nobody lie to you. If you understand urban living, you understand politics. These people is not smarter than you. We'll see y'all next week.